What's up everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to write a you-focused Upwork proposal that is going to help you get more results faster than ever before. So if that's something you need, stick around. For those who don't know me, I'm Lex DeVille, and on this channel we help people escape corporate prison and build a freelance empire. We share lots of freelance writing and freelance tips and tutorials, so if you're new, consider subscribing. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to write a you-focused proposal that is going to help you get more responses and more results on Upwork. So that's your cover letter. That's the thing that you send to people in order to get them to notice you and respond to you for an interview. And before we get into this, I want you to know that my proposal system is based on doing three things. There are three things we have to do in order to get a client to move forward with you. So the first thing we have to do, we've been building up to this over the past several days. It's why we spent so much time on our overview. It's why we spent so much time on our title and tags, and also our portfolio, is to build up this system of authority and credibility behind us. Because the first thing that we have to do, the first thing that clients need to see, is that you are a competent freelancer. And until they see that you are a competent freelancer, they will not feel confident that you can get the job done. So the first part of everything we've done so far was to establish a sense of competence in yourself, to show that to clients so that they feel confident reaching out because they feel that you can get the job done. They feel like you are someone who can actually do this job. And ultimately, by allowing clients to feel confident because you are competent, you lead them to a feeling of comfort. They feel comfortable moving forward with you. So until they see that you're competent, they can't feel confident that you can get the job done, and therefore they would not feel comfortable moving forward and interviewing you or hiring you. That's what this is all designed to establish, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So I've got a job up on the screen, just one that I quickly found this morning. It looks like it's a roofing contractor website, and I'm going to walk you through a proposal here. But I wanted to show you what they've got going on. They've got intermediate level roofing contractor website copy. There's 100,001 roofing contractor websites, and all selling same services. We need good content for a new company website, ideally created by someone with a previous experience. We need to cover several topics: hail and wind claims, roof replacements, free roof inspection. Ideas and creativity are welcome. Company is based in Frisco, Texas. So there's not that much here to go on. We just know that it's some kind of roofing contractor company. We need to get in here. We need to establish a you-focused proposal and show them that we are competent so that they feel confident and ultimately feel comfortable moving forward with us. So the first things we're going to do, we want to write with a you-focus. What does that even mean? Well, a lot of people think that you-focus means just using the word you at the beginning of your proposal, and maybe even using the word you throughout your proposal more than the word I. That is one part of it, but the whole competency thing is part of it as well, and also showing that you are paying attention to the job post and showing that you can help the client and that you care about their business. Those are all part of you focus. So it's not just using the word you, and a lot of people mistake that, and therefore they don't get results when they send a you focused proposal. You have to have all the different parts. So going up here and looking at this, 100,000 roofing contractor companies, what can we say to this person that's going to stand out and get their attention? We could start with a greeting, but lately I've liked to start with some kind of headline. So roofing contractor website copy. How about the one? Copywriting for roofing contractors. All right, so what am I doing here? This is a headline. I don't do this in all of my proposals, but sometimes it's worth it to have a headline. It's just something that stands out. The one is a reference to, could be a reference to some kind of prodigy or prophecy. It could be a reference to the Matrix. It just kind of depends on what's going to stand out to these people. Who knows? I don't know. But copywriting for roofing contractors. So I'm saying that this is copywriting and it's for this specific people, which is what they are. So now that I've done that, I'm going to drop down. What I'm doing with roofing contractors is showing that this is already you-focused. I have seen that they are a roofing contractor, and I am showing them that I notice what kind of company they are. So the focus is already on them. Hi there. There's a greeting. The greeting could be hey there, could be whatever there. There's a lot of greetings you can use. It really doesn't matter that much. We do talk about this in my freelance proposal course a little bit more. We get into the greetings and what each one means. But for now, just hi there is fine. This one, they want to stand out and they need a copywriter for that purpose. They're all selling the same services. So what's going to make them stand out? That's what we have to kind of get at. They're doing hail and wind claims, roof replacements, and free roof inspections. Hi there. You need a copywriter for your roofing business, preferably someone who can, spelling error. We need to check those spelling errors because those are going to be a big deal. If you send a proposal as a copywriter or as anyone, basically even anyone with spelling errors, that can really ruin you because it shows that you're not competent enough to use spell check or to check these things out before you send your proposal. And that's something that's going to stop people from hiring you. So you need a copywriter for your roofing business, preferably someone who can help you stand out in a sea of sameness. I write copy for industrial companies, creative brands, and even startups on Shark Tank. All right, so something I want to note about this line here. I used something similar in my overview. You probably saw it a few days ago. I like this line because a lot of people know Shark Tank, so I use that as a credibility marker. Whenever I'm trying to establish that I do the thing that they need, I'm always trying to think what is one of the biggest credibility markers I can use. And since a lot of companies, especially a lot of business owners, watch Shark Tank here in the United States, that's something that might catch their attention. They might say, oh, wow, if he writes for them, he can probably write for us. So you need to figure out what is going to be that thing for you. And I like to list 3 of them. So you can see that here. I write copy for industrial companies. There's one. And notice industrial companies would imply that I write for blue collar companies, which is what a roofing contractor is. It's going to be a blue collar company. So I'm saying that I write for companies like yours. I'm also saying I write for creative brands. That's number 2. And creative brands, well, they said they wanted something creative. So it makes sense for me to have creative brands in there, even though it's not specific. And even startups on Shark Tank, that's just a big credibility marker that they're probably familiar with. So hi there, you need a copywriter for your roofing business, preferably someone who can help you stand out in a sea of sameness. Notice I used just a simple metaphor right there. I didn't just say help you stand out. I did something that will show them how I can help them stand out by using a metaphor. I write copy for industrial companies, creative brands, and even startups on Shark Tank. Can you tell me a little about your business? That's just leading into some questions here. So now I want to establish not only am I creative, not only am I clean and I have good copy, but I want to establish competency by asking a couple of questions. You don't have to always have questions. My proposals don't always have questions, but sometimes they do because it's clear that I need to know a little more. So what would you say is the biggest creative difference in your brand from others? So this is a unique question. I don't think I've asked this question before, but they're trying to establish themselves as something different. So we have to find out what is that difference. And I think that's going to be valuable for them because now they're going to be thinking about it. They're actually going to have to put some thought into, not just what makes us different as a roofing company, because that could be, they'll name off any of the same million things, but what makes us different creatively? How is the personality or vibe of your business different from others? So I've got 2 questions in there. We've established, we've caught their attention here with something different than everyone else has. We've used a you focus here. You need a copywriter. We have mirrored back to them what they need, preferably someone who can help you stand out. And then we've connected ourselves with them by showing that we do the exact kind of writing that they need. It's creative, it's for blue collar, it's credible, and now we want them to, can you tell me a little bit about your business? I didn't put a question mark on this for a reason because I didn't want to have too many questions. Sometimes too many questions can overwhelm people, so I just used triple dots and went straight down into 2 questions here. When you work with me, you get, let's say, simple fixed rates, research included. It's $100. Let's say it's $150 per page, up to 500 words with 2 revision rounds. The writing will be clean, creative, and delivered on deadline. All right, so here I'm just establishing some things that they'll get when they work with me. NLP presupposition right there. When you work with me, we're assuming the sale. This is what they'll get. You get simple fixed rates. That's letting them know I'm not an hourly employee, so they can ignore my $135 an hour hourly rate. It's just going to be $150 per page for up to 500 words. So if they have multiple pages, they can quickly do the math in their head. It makes it easy for them. They also see that they're going to get 2 revision rounds, which means it puts their mind at ease because they think, well, we probably won't need more than 2 revision rounds. This guy's pretty good. So that just kind of takes some of that burden off them. I also said research included because why? Because research really usually doesn't take that long, at least not for me. But a lot of freelancers like to charge for it, and they like to build up the hours using research, as a reason why they're spending so much time on this, when really that much research isn't needed if you have a system for it and whenever you are doing the right thing for the client. Writing down here, the writing will be clean. That's something they're going to want. They want clean writing that's creative and delivered on deadline because they have things going on. So these are all things I'm just overcoming objections that they might have to freelancers or maybe freelancers they worked in the past. And then I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to close it out with my call to action. If any of that is what you need, message me. And then down here, what are we going to use for our signature? We could use kind regards. I don't like to use kind regards. You guys know that about me. So I'm just going to use friendly. That's one of my go-tos. Lex DeVille. P.S. Regardless of who you choose, keep my info for later. Keep my info in case you need me later. Standing by to help. Or, yeah, that's fine. All right, so now that I'm down here at the bottom, I I enter twice, and then I put a period. And the reason I do that is because down here, if you don't put this period here, then it jumbles up the end of your, like this last line will be smushed up against the bottom of the box when they go to read it. So I put an extra period and it creates a space and it just looks more clean that way. It's just one tiny little thing that shows I'm different from everybody else. It sets me apart. And now you can see what we've got here. So we've got the one. Copywriting for roofing contractors, starting with a U focus. Hi there, simple greeting. You need a copywriter for your roofing business. Again, you focus. I have not talked about myself, my experience, or my degree at all at this point. Preferably someone who can help you stand out in a sea of sameness. By using sea of sameness, again, metaphor that shows that I can help them stand out, that I don't just tell them, that I actually show them. I write copy for industrial companies, creative brands, and even startups on Shark Tank. So those are my credibility markers, and they are not just credibility markers, they are relevant credibility markers. Can you tell me a little about your business? What would you say is the biggest creative difference in your brand from others? How is the personality or vibe of your business different from others? So those two questions are establishing my authority. They're also establishing that I'm a competent person, because how else would I know to ask these questions? So if you are a competent person, you can come up with 2 or 3 good questions to ask that are going to speak to your audience. That is what it means to be competent. Being someone who is competent means it doesn't just mean that you can write copy or that you can build a website or that you can post on social media. It means that whenever you don't know something, you can ask. And whenever you don't know what to ask, you can still figure out how to ask the right questions. Or you can do research and you don't have to constantly be all up in their face asking them to give you step-by-step instructions, but you're still not afraid to ask when you need certain information. That's what being competent is. So it's operating as a professional. And the more you do this, the more it establishes confidence that you can get this job done. And that's what they're looking for. They need to see that you are competent so they can feel confident. When you work with me, you get simple fixed rates, research included. It's $150 per page, up to 500 words with 2 revision rounds. The writing will be clean, creative, and delivered on deadline. You could do this any way you want. If you don't have to put your price in here. I like to do it sometimes for companies whenever I'm not sure what they're looking for or what their price range is. They may not be sure what their price range is, so they may be saying to themselves, well, all these people, if I pay someone $45 an hour, but it takes them 10 hours to write this copy, then that's going to be way over $150 per page. But if I just go with this guy, it's $150. I know exactly what I get. I know exactly how much it's going to be per page. And I know that he's not going to be charging me for a bunch of extra stuff that may or may not be needed. And it's going to give me creative, that room for creativity. I don't have to worry about doing something on like a tight hourly deadline. And then I just close it out with a call to action. If any of that is what you need, message me, give my signature, my PS statement, regardless of who you choose. Keep my info in case you need me later. I'm standing by to help. It's just something to throw out there to say, hey, even if you pick somebody else, I'm still going to be around. You can still message me if they don't work out. That's what I'm saying right there. And that's going to get their attention. I'm a competent person. They are now feeling very confident in me, and I've demonstrated what I can do. I've used a you focus and shown how I can help them. And hopefully that's going to be enough to make them feel comfortable responding to me. And that's step one. Ultimately, our goal here is to get a response so that we can get to the next level. Because the first step is sending a proposal. The second step is getting a response to that proposal. And the third step is moving into the interview. We do it one step at a time, step by step. So I hope that helps you. I'm going to go ahead and send this off. There's not really anything else I need to change. You might notice that it's got an hourly rate up here. And by the way, I will probably link to some more proposal examples that got results. So if you want that, be sure to check the description, or I'll put a link on the screen where you can click and download those. But I do want to note that there's an hourly rate up here. So the client's going to have to change that. That's something that later on, once we get to the interview phase, if they decide to go forward with me, I will have to ask them. Or actually, I'll tell them. It won't be an ask, but I'll say, hey, can you switch this over to a fixed rate job so that we can move forward? It won't be worded quite like that because, like I said, I'll be telling them that's what they're doing, but ultimately we'll get them to switch it over to a fixed price gig so I don't have to do hourly work, because I don't want to have to track my time. That's a waste of my time. It's a waste of theirs. And I also don't want to have to enter manual time. I just want to do things on fixed rate. It makes it easier for everyone, and so that's what I do. I'm not uploading any attachments down here. You could upload attachments if you want. Some clients are going to want that. It's just based on what they need. I'm giving them something based on what they need. Look at the length of this. It's really not that long of a proposal, and when you look up here, it's about the same length as theirs. They're based in Frisco, Texas. Ideas and creativity are welcome. They say they do hail, wind, and roof claims. I mean, we can address more of those or less. It really doesn't matter, but this is good enough for now, so I'm going to submit it. There it goes, it's fired away, and now we have another one out there. And that's pretty much it for the U-Focus system. So remember, U-Focus is not just about using the word you, it's about showing that you care, and it's also about showing that you can help the client and that you want to help the client. It's also about demonstrating that you are a competent freelancer, so you make the client feel confident in you and ultimately feel comfortable moving forward with you to that next stage, which is one step closer to you getting the job, you getting money, and you having an awesome experience as a freelancer. I hope that's helped. I'm Lex DeVille. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want more videos like this, remember to subscribe. I'll see you in the next lesson.